Hey, Casual EAL. Welcome to the next playoff series. Remember, we just had one yesterday, and we got another match for you tonight. Tonight, it is the eBROS and Apes together strong for what is probably going to be a match full of fireworks, bloodshed, and lots of excitement. I'm Scattercat, and I'll be doing your color today. But along with me is our good boy, our good, awesome top player, the all-star first team top player of the division, Tommy. How's it going, Tommy?
I'm good. How are you, Scatter?
I'm doing pretty good. I had to lay it on a little thick after
Yeah,
yesterday's game. I
yeah.
apologize, but
It's fine. It's a J chill. I'm happy to be here. I'm gonna be your guys' play-by-play tonight. I hope you guys enjoy your stay. Um, yeah, tonight is gonna be an absolute barn burner. Tonight we got our fourth and fifth seeds, Apes Together Strong and eBros, and they will be playing Owlbear Express 100%, as the 6-seeded Bronze X Penguins defeated my Nakoma, the 3 seed last night, and will be playing Imagine Esports 100% of the time. So it's a good time. You get to avoid uh, Imagine Esports in the first round, which is, in most people's opinions, going to be a very, very big delight for them. Um, and for them themselves, they only lost games to our team this split, so good luck, good for them as well. Um, but enough about my team and my sadness. It's time to move on and look forward into the future and the Noxus finals and semifinals. But first, we got to get through the quarters, and that is tonight. Now, what do you expect from this match, Scatter, as in terms of play?
in terms of play, I'm expecting a lot of fireworks in mid lane. Everybody knows that Ebros likes to have Devranga like pull a lot of damage for their side. He does a lot of damage every single team fight. But Thunderstorm is also not a bad player. He's also very good, and he's playing up against Cyanite, who is arguably one of the best mid laners in the entire division. So I'm expecting a lot of stuff to happen mid lane, whether that's junglers going for ganks and helping set up plays for mid, or whether that is just mid lane going 1v1 and getting trades constantly. Like, I just think it's going to be really exciting to see what happens there. On top of that, we have Randomonium with his 200 years of IQ making draft plans and strategies for what they're going to draft, what they're going to ban. So I think we might see some really cool stuff out of Apes from that side of things as well. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on tonight.
That's good. That's good. Now we're gonna get started here shortly, I hope. Everybody or the where draft is all set up and ready to go. I believe we are gonna start draft relatively soon. Um, Something to note that ATS, I believe, ATS is the team that has had a quite a lot of role swapping within the team and new members as well. Uh, Cyanite was the jungler at one point. I believe Randomonium was the support at one point. Another the mid laner in jungle. Um, how do you think a whole bunch of role swapping like this in the middle of the season will affect the play of ATS going into playoffs?
Um, if we're talking about just between Rando and Cyanite, probably not too much, just because Cyanite's used to playing mid lane, Randomonium's used to playing jungle, so I feel like they are most comfortable in these two roles. Um, and I feel like they brought up Uncle's Alone Time, who's now going by a different summoner name. They brought him back to support. They've already played with him there in that role as well, so there is still some comfort there, even though he was added on to the team late in the season. So I think the big question though is how well the top laner and the AD carry are going to do, just because we don't have much of a pool of stats
Mm.
between those two players to really know what they're about, how good they are, what kind of matchups they like to play, that kind of thing.
All right, so now we're 5 bands deep into first game pick ban. Akali, Vigar, Morgana, Silas, and Wukong taken off the table with a cheeky little Lulu hover. I see you, ATS. Um, very, very good bands. A lot of currently meta picks for the most part, and very quick three pick first solutions. Urgot
Very
first
quick.
pick into a Mumu Caitlyn. A Mumu, something that I don't typically recommend blinding right off the bat because it's a very tanky jungler, and tanky junglers, typically speaking, do not do very well into very aggressive early game junglers such as Olaf or Warwick, for example, to name a couple. Um, and the Caitlyn pick still very, very strong. The nerfs she received in 10.18, I would like to say, I don't think are meaningful enough to take her completely out of the meta, as she has just fallen out at Worlds, for example. But here's that Twitch that has been rising in popularity over the Worlds kind of meta patch and the realization of how strong this champion is. Now, Twitch is very reliant on what his lane partner can do in lane, so I'm assuming this is going to be a very safe or very aggressive Leona pick here. Is a very good pick because Leona's biggest weakness, being Morgana, has been taken off the table. So the bans here from eBROS are reflecting what their game plans are going to be. I can specifically say I know this Akali ban is targeted towards Cyanite.
Oh yeah.
Um, ATS afraid of the Samira first pick is something else to note. The Wukong flex. I'm not sure if it's flex for any most other teams, but here we go. We have a set again.
Yeah.
Set. I'm gonna assume that's set top lane, as set jungle has fallen off huge in priority because of just how the champion's been nerfed and his clear. And now is better suited for even mid lane. Most people would say. I would think a lot of people would agree. And we have the Fizz and Vlad bans right coming out right away. This is a very quick draft for the most part, and Darius ban as well, which I'm not quite sure unless eBros' jungler has been playing Urgot jungle, which
Yeah.
received some buffs.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by the Darius ban. That might have been a misclick, so I'm waiting to see if there's any talk in chat like that. I'm not seeing it so far. Um,
Okay.
so I guess yeah, that was a Darius ban on purpose. Um, yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know what to make of that.
I
Um,
also don't know what to make of that. I'm looking at the chat channel and they've seen nothing
yeah,
to report that it is an accident. Irelia also banned, so we have a mid lane ban, a mid top flex, or I guess two mid top flex bans from the side of eBros, and it's Vladimir and Irelia, and as well as the Darius ban, which I'm not sure. Is that, are we seeing Urgot jungle possibly? And I,
ooh, that's a Swain support. I'm feeling that's a Swain support pick right there.
I would agree. For people who don't know, Swain on rework release was intended to be a top laner. His buffs that or his changes afterwards made him a better mid laner, and ever so slightly as time has gone on, the Riot development team has come out and said that when they saw Swain's reworked kit, he was intended to be a support. So they've slowly moved him down to the bot lane, which I despise. Get him out of my lane. Um, Swain is such an annoying champion. However, Swain plus Caitlyn, generally speaking, when you're playing a Caitlyn, or playing with a Caitlyn in lane, you want something that is ease of execution for her traps. Unless the Caitlyn is super practiced with playing with a Swain, Swain is one of those unique champions, like much like Thresh, where trap placement is much more difficult with Swain because the Swain's pulled placement is the same every time, but it's you're generally going to be standing far away because Swain likes to throw his E out, walk as far away as possible, and then walk back in. And our draft is done here with Warwick and
Okay.
Echo to round off the draft list alongside an Ahri. The Echo into Ahri matchup, something I'm not quite familiar with, but I feel like is a very even matchup and is skill based because of Ahri and Echo's Ahri's mobility with her ultimate and Echo's mobility. I feel like it would play very much like the Syndra matchup, but I could be very wrong in that.
Yeah, and Cyanite picking Echo makes perfect sense. I mean, he likes to show you what he can do. He really likes to impress with the plays that he can make. He goes for playmakers. Echo fits right into that play style for him. And going up against the Ari, I feel like that could go either way. It depends on what plays Echo makes. It depends on what plays Ari makes and how comfortable both these players are on these champions. Um, I still don't understand the Darius ban. So that's still throwing me off, and I probably shouldn't even think about it anymore, just because they already picked their actual champs they're going to play anyway.
No.
Um, but yeah, you were talking about the Amumu jungle pick not going well into early game junglers, and we do see eBROS respond by locking in the Warwick, and they waited a while to get him in there, but they do have an early game jungler. So
Mhm.
are we expecting that Scrambles on this Warwick is going to do a lot of invades?
Oh,
Is he
oh,
going to be ballsy with it and do
it's
that?
Warwick. It's Warwick top with Urgot jungle.
No.
Potato Fist is locked in Warwick top.
They can always trade though after everybody's locked in their champs. They
They
can always
they
trade.
could they could be baiting us. They could be baiting us, but I'm gonna peep scrambles as op.gg right now because it does seem like a very scrambles type beat. If I'm honest, scrambles.
But how good is the Urgot jungle really?
I
Because
think
I can't say I've ever seen it.
so. He's got 7 games on Urgot in the last 7 days in ranked. I'm trying to find where they are. It's Urgot jungle.
All right. Well then I will be looking forward to seeing just how good this jungle pick actually is. I'm super curious.
Now, looking at how Scrambles has been playing it, he's been building his Skirmisher Saber, but not completing the item, and going into Death Stance and Black Cleaver from the looks of things.
Huh.
Yes, that is what I am seeing here. Yes.
Hovering the Lulu. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much for
Oh,
that.
oh
They
no.
can't help it. They got to do it. Can't help it.
Oh, it's just gonna be eternally lived. It's
Yep.
just gonna be there, isn't it?
It's just gonna be there tonight. Just expect it every single game. I'm so sorry.
I'm just
So
gonna.
one thing
Are they
I'm really
hovering
looking
the
forward
Yi
to
too?
though.
Yikes.
So one thing I'm really looking forward to tonight, right now in this game specifically, I want to see Devranga's Twitch so badly. Um, he's just because of how much in favor Twitch is rising right now on the world stage, and across like solo queue as well. I just want to see Twitch pop off. I want to see it
Mhm.
look super impressive today. However, there is an issue with the Swain Caitlyn bot lane where Swain sucks to play against.
Yeah, Swain
Um,
is a no fun champion. Oh, they're just
Sw-
watching about scrambles. I know. I've read you like a book, lad. It's Urgot jungle. I know it.
so yeah, I mean that bot lane is going to be really interesting for me to watch. Set and Warwick top lane though is also really weird and interesting because I don't see a lot of Warwicks play top. Um, I would assume that around level 6 Set basically has that matchup though.
Uh,
Um,
it's
I
it's
don't think Warwick's lifesteal is going to matter as much.
see the biggest ups. So Warwick's the biggest problem with the Warwick top lane. I've played a lot of Warwick, unfortunately. Um, Warwick top lane. His biggest concern is mana. Um, because his spells cost a lot of mana. In jungle, you don't realize that because you get things like blue buff and you have your jungle item, right? So you
Yeah.
don't realize that your spells cost a buttload of mana on Warwick. Like his Q was like 70 mana or something, if I remember correctly. And the big thing about Set and Warwick is that they're gonna both be life stealing and shielding and fearing and taking reduced damage. But the big thing I want to see is if Potato Fist can time his Q properly in time with the set W wind up to dash behind the set.
Yeah.
Because that'll be where the to me in my eyes, that'll be the make or break of the duels between the two. I've gotten word from the chat that Randomonium likes the Amumu, so picking it up. I
Oh yeah. Oh
Amumu,
yeah,
I
he
might
loves
lose.
he well, I wouldn't say love, but he does like the Amumu. When I was on the team as AD carry, we practiced a team comp quite a bit in the beginning where he played Amumu and I played Aphelios, and I would pair Aphelios's ultimate with whenever Amumu landed his
Mhm.
ultimate.
Yeah,
So it is something Randomonium likes to use in his comps. Um, so I'm glad to see it coming out here because I think he has a very good Amumu.
yeah, I like the confidence. Um, However, I think the Urgot is something to watch quite closely in this game. For people who are unaware, Urgot, a couple some odd patches ago, received buffs to his passive when clearing in the jungle. It is no longer a capped damage um, in the
Okay.
jungle on from his passive shotgun knees. I believe it scales properly now, like most things. Thank you for the people who are letting me know. I'm well aware of it. I keep up with the patch notes really close. I hadn't seen it at all really outside of I looked at Scrambles OP.gg recently for some reason, and I remember seeing it, I believe. Um, Urgot is also another champion that is very well into set outside of him building a lot of HP. Because Urgot E will flip the set over when he's casting W. Um, but this is a big Bork game for Seth and the Black Cleaver from my perspective. The thing we talked about earlier in the Twitch has two primary build paths. He has the straight into Bork, and he has the uh, Muramana uh, build.
Mhm.
For me in this game, because of how Swain stacks HP, how Set stacks HP, and Amumu stacks HP, I think this is a board game for sure because
Yes.
the enemy comp is not squishy enough to justify the scaling on Maramana.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment. He's got to go Bork in this game for sure. So hey, we're loading in here. Get to take a look at what skins everybody is using. So while we're loading into the game, I just want to say I feel like no matter who wins this series today, this is probably going to go to all three games. I can see this getting to three games because Noxus as an entire division is one of those divisions where as soon as playoffs started, I said I can see every single one of these teams winning their playoff matches and moving forward in
Agreed.
this bracket. So
Agreed.
I,
I,
I
I
would
saw
I
the
would love
exact
to
same.
see it hit three games today. I would absolutely love to see it.
I love it as well. Quickly looking at runes and that like we got PTA from the Warwick in the top lane. I like that a lot. Conqueror also another option. I don't think Grasp was the motive. Conqueror Seth. What else are you gonna take? Conqueror. Urgot in the jungle. Makes sense. I still like PTA more on Urgot as a whole. Uh, Amumu Aftershock. I like. I think it's probably the best rune on Amumu, hands down.
Mhm.
Glacial Ari, we must take notes. That'll be a GLP star most likely from Thunderstorm. Electrocute on the Echo. Both mid laners taking Ignite, something to take note of, and both TP in the top lane for the Warwick and the Set. Cleanse on the Caitlyn, and Exhaust on the Swain. So there is no heal in the bot lane, which
Yeah.
worries me a little bit because heal is kind of a summoner spell that almost every support takes, or like every bot lane takes. It to me it's very crucial because it just the amount of impact it has on a 2v2 is huge, right?
Yeah.
19. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like it's basically going to be line of scrimmage from both teams here. Although we're seeing a little bit of stacking up in mid lane on the side of eBROS here. Nope, they are fanning back out. Never mind.
Yeah.
So doing some dancing in the mid lane, I love it.
Yeah.
I think the Caitlyn picking cleanse is just because she doesn't want to pay the QSS tax and she would rather just have it as a summoner spell. Because she's got to deal with Warwick Ultimate, she's got to deal with Ari Charm, she's got to deal with Leona Stun and Ultimate. So,
Now
um,
we have to keep track of the fact of the matter is cleanse doesn't work on Urgot Ultimate or Warwick Ultimate.
oh, it doesn't work on Warwick Ultimate. Oh, you're right. You're
It's
right. Yeah.
suppression. So the cleanse is almost exclusively for Ari Charm and Leona Engage. Because those are and Warwick Fear, of course, that also you can QS. But I think you almost always go QSS in this game anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just taken heal just for extra survivability in lane in case they get a
Yeah,
really good gank or something. But
right, for
uh,
sure.
maybe. I mean, Slavic Goon. I mean, he probably went with cleanse because he felt like he had to. So hopefully it pays off and it wasn't a wasted summoner spell.
Yeah, I'm sure they know. Now looking at items quickly. Oh, Misty in the bot lane there. Uh, Set and Warwick both taking D shield. I think this could be definitely a D blade for the sets. Even I know Cull's a little bit ambitious.
A little
Um,
bit.
oh, quick trade in the top lane. Q trades, but only the one punch comes in from the set. EQ forward from the level 2 hit first. And a very good trade for Cyanide early with the electric proc also coming out. Very good trade early because of the level 2. Always fear the level 2 and the blue chroma medieval twitch. So we see Devranga as an honorable summoner. Very nice. Something else of note, it is the Spell Thief's Edge for the Swain in the bot lane, as opposed to the Relic Shield, which is more common on basically every support at this point in the game.
Yeah.
In the meta. Both clears, we got a full blue clear into red buff from the scrambles on the Urgots, looking in the Tribush for a gank, and we have red side red buff Raptors Wolves blue buff into Gromp, it looks like, I would assume from the Amumu, but Scrambles is moving in on the invade here. Smite used, Q landed,
Just a little harassed, just a little. Yeah.
just pushing him off the jungle. They're both at 16 camps, they are dead even in camps taken in gold.
Getting a little bit of pinging over there, so not sure. It looks like both teams are trying to decide if they want to call other people over to do anything, and they just decide to disengage instead.
Ari has the priority in the mid lane currently right now. Only 2 charges, a second charge of crafting potion just used in the mid lane from Cyanite. Oh, Facebreaker missed from the set on the top lane. The Warwick now just hitting level 4. It's just 2 CS lead for him in the Warwick in the top lane, so good for Potato Fist so far.
Yeah, and CS is basically even across the board between both
Yeah.
teams. Just very slight differences that don't amount to much at the moment.
Yeah, 1 CS lead, now even up in the bot lane, even CS mid lane, and a camp lead right now for Scrambles. I believe he took one of Randomodium's picks.
Ooh, here
Oh,
we
and
go.
here's the sucks coming out. Oh, will Blaney be able to do enough damage? We also have a trade in the bot lane. There's 2v2, the Echo is on the top side right now as well. Slow trade, shotgun knees with a red buff ticking on both sides. Warwick's going to get his W
Got the
passive.
flash.
The passive flashed out. Warwick coming out. Cleanse used bot lane as well. It is a fight all over the map involving all the parties from both sides. And it amounts to nothing. No kills either way.
Somehow we miraculously get everyone to survive all of that skirmishing across the map. It's a miracle, a Christmas miracle. No, sorry, Halloween miracle.
However,
And
considerably more summoners were spent from the side of ATS.
yes,
Flash used from Warwick and Urgot. Heal and Ignite used from the bot lane of eBROS. But all 4 summoners used bot lane from ATS. And Flash also used mid lane. So summoners advantage in the mid lane, and item advantage in the mid lane. Because Cyanide went there, had a really bad, just didn't have a meaningful back, I guess. Good pull there from big
Oh,
charm.
the dead Ari.
W stun, very well timed chain CC, and there's no point flashing here. That is first blood
Yeah.
to Cyanite. Very well played, very well coordinated from Randomonium and Cyanite. Yeah, not enough. The glacial augment, not enough, and it's not worth expending the flash there. It's very early on in the game, and the
Yep.
enemy, the Echo, doesn't have his flash up right now, so the E is very effective.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Ari being level 5 doesn't have her ultimate to try to escape that. So, yep, good call just to save the flash, not waste it here. Very intelligent by Thunderstorm.
Yeah,
Accept the demise, basically.
yeah.
Just take it. So
If you
we
were gonna
see
flash,
some item buys coming out of bot lane. Caitlyn has a lot more damage just base here with the items with the BF sword buy, and Twitch is coming back to lane with a little vampiric scepter and just a dagger. So we'll see how the match changes now in the bot lane because of that.
oh,
Skirmish up in top lane.
very good trade for the Warwick right now. It's because he has double longsword advantage for the set who hasn't based yet. He based off of that skirmish on the top side, and the set decided to save Blaney being very greedy and priority in the jungle for scrambles, and he gets the dragon early. That is Ocean Dragon, and the Bramble Vest purchased early from the set, something that Warwick is going to have a hard time dealing with. However, his innate sustain is very strong anyways. However, I'm gonna assume those double longswords become a Tiamat, or overall Tiamat is not a very gold efficient item, unless he's gonna be hard pushing in the sets wave after wave, and looking to
Mm-hmm.
go in for objectives into the enemy jungle. I don't see the Tiamat being of worth purchase. I think Black Cleaver or Bork are probably better options just as a whole, or just going full tank in all honesty. EU's in the top side. It's a very good trade for the Warwick. However, he's low on mana. Sheen is a very good item on Warwick. Skirmish in the mid lane. Echo has ultimate and
Oh.
level 6 flash. Ultimate used ignited. Also, you put down top mid lane. Echo ultimate also burned, but the CC is just immense. Now we have a skirmish on the top side.
Oh!
Warwick fear out. He dies. Blaney gets a trade back kill onto the Warwick. The Warwick just face tanking the face breaker, and the set W scrambles, misses it. Is this a 2v1 outplay from the
Oh
set?
my
Oh
god!
no! The Bramble Vest putting in so much work. eBROS throwing away what should have been something quite easy. The set did also use ultimate there, but there's no way I think you should be losing that at all. You used your CC. The big thing I see from scrambles there is him just willy-nilly kind of using his E. And this is why people have been hyping up Blaney. He just does stuff like that, but I feel like it's less so Blaney popping off. Like all respect for him doing what he needed to do to win that 2v1. But at the same time, I don't think he should have won that at all.
Yeah,
I think,
at the same time, it was just kind of handed to him.
yeah. Flash use from Randomonium, on the invade from the priority from the Ari, which they really no longer have. Minions getting pushed in, and Scrambles isn't going to be able to catch this wave, so they're missing a wave here, and the Ari might just walk into Echo W and take a full damage combo. And a Cyanide just got a huge trade, but however, it was a cannon wave, so they did get back in time and got the cannon from the looks of things. Couldn't quite tell as the camera panned away. The work is roaming the map, and it is a Tiamat buy here. The Skirmisher Saber is completed, and the Cinder Hulk full buy from Randomonium here.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for Warwick to do much against Set now in a 1v1. Oh, and as I'm speaking, we have a
Solar
skirmish in
Flare
the bot
coming
lane.
out. Solar Flare coming out. Spray and Pray also coming out. The Swain face taking a lot of damage. He can survive for a really long time. His ultimate makes him very strong and very tanky. And the flash he used from Duranga as they fall away. The Swain comes out as well, and it's going to pull him back into a double kill because there's just a huge damage difference. It's just lifesteal from the Twitch. The Caitlyn has a BF sword. You cannot fight that right now. eBROS making just poor decisions all around the map, top lane and in the support role, top lane and bot lane. It is now a 2k gold lead right now for ATS after they got a huge advantage in the early game in Summoners.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because not only that, but Twitch also got the kill in mid lane on Cyanite, the only kill that the entire team has gotten, and he's the hyper carry, so it's a good thing he got that kill, but he
And
can't die.
off of that 2v2 play, That's Storm Razor completed for Caitlyn at 10 minutes 20.
Yeah,
And
that's rough.
that is very rough. The Twitch shouldn't really be getting to do much in this lane. For all you Caitlyn players out there, if you're not buying Cull, you're trolling, in my opinion. Um, you're the longest range AD carry in the game. Just take Cull. It's free.
It's
Um,
free real estate.
it's actually just free real estate, lads. All I'm saying. Um, I just, that's my hard opinion on
Oh,
that, boys.
Randomonium wants to set up for a play bot lane, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do one.
Is the
Just
Plascon
just
there?
because the eBROS are kind of backing up intelligently. Oh, they spot him out. Good, good, good.
I spotted out Scrambles on his Krugs right now. There is a, oh, there's a ward there, but there's three people currently on the bot. Scrambles is on his Krugs right now, but the Echo looks to be roaming down right now.
Cyanate wants to roam down as well. He hits the plant though, so
He
they
hits
know
the
that somebody's
Scryers.
up there.
He hits the Scryers woman. It has to be Echo because the set is envisioned topside. But right now we have, what Drake is about to spawn? I don't have the timers up. What a guy.
It is a mountain drake
Mountain.
next.
Mountain Drake. Oh, big ultimate here. Scrambles and Leona face checking the bush with an LCC, and the damage is being on the Elonia, but the Leona W has and is taking down, takes no damage, but the crits from Caitlyn with the Storm Razor just do too much damage, and then they turn straight onto the objective. Two and a
Yeah.
half K gold lead. Sorry for butchering Leona's name 4 times in that fight.
Yeah,
But
Randomonium played the long game there. He sat in that bush. He was waiting down bot lane for a good solid minute there, just waiting for a play to develop. Patience
no,
pays off.
patience does pay off here. And we have Proto Belt components in the mid lane from Cyanide, but we have a trade here. Slavic Goon using the 90 caliber net to get into lane. The Echo, oh, the
Oh,
Urgot ultimate, the cleanse used. He doesn't know how, it's a suppression, lads. Urgot ultimate is a suppression, you cannot cleanse it. Lesson of the day, you can't cleanse suppressions. A trade going in the top side. Oh, Warwick ultimate
yeah,
says
that's
he
a dead
whiffs it
Warwick.
completely. Oh, flash away. Oh, but flash also flash follow from this from Blaney, and that's just the kill. However, Rift Herald
Is
was
this
taken
first
earlier in
tower
the
going
game.
to eBROS?
Is this first tower macro wise? I guess I shouldn't be flaming them too hard if they're getting all these objectives. They're gonna get first objective here. Trade in the mid lane. Ignite used from Thunderstorm. I'm not quite sure if that was
It
doable.
was a ballsy play, you know.
Well, knowing Echo has ultimate, it's a big surprise for me is Blaney only has one turret plate top lane, about to get a second from the looks of things. This Blaney, the set is very, very strong. If you can pan over to
Yeah.
the gold for the whole gang in the chat watching, set currently has a 1500 gold lead in top lane.
Yeah, he's a
In
big boy.
jungle is actually 800 gold lead in favor of Scrambles. And that's due to mainly taking
Yeah.
the Rift Herald and getting plate spot side.
Yep, that's mainly what that's
Uh,
all about.
200 gold lead for the Ari, and that's mainly through CS.
Mainly CS.
And it's 500 through the Caitlyn, and that's kills.
Yeah, that's not surprising at this point.
And the 150 is not very challenging in the bot. Like, that's not much in terms of support gold itemization.
Yeah.
But we see a 15 CS lead in the top lane. A very unimportant jungle gap in CS. 20 CS in the mid lane for Thunderstorm, which is very good. It, however, should be happening as it's ranged into melee. Twitch is in here, but it's warded, and all three members there are spotted out kind of very cheekily, looking for a Fnatic Death Rush, and that's just not possible. Set
Ooh, is
used
this a dead Ari?
Bork probably. The Ari ultimate is not up yet, and that's a lot of damage. Set doesn't have any magic resist, to be fair, so this Ari could win this, except for the fact that he was 2 levels down there.
Yeah, the set is just too strong at the moment. It's really going to be hard for anybody to really stand against him. The Warwick especially, so I do like the call to swap him and Ari around.
I do like it as well, I agree.
But Warwick's just not really accomplishing much in a lane at the moment. He's busy taking out some wards. Echo's going to be having complete priority down at bot lane here. They might even try to fight here too.
Yeah. Oh, the Warwick was prepared for it, and the Q dash follow. The very impressive display of Warwick mechanics, holding the Q button down. Very, very good. Bramble Vest completed on 2 characters right now. The Hextech items completed in mid lane, and the set is just going to look at the set ultimate to follow. The Ahri ultimate,
Yeah.
the dash 3 away. It needs to keep his distance. The set W is going to come
The set
out.
could die here.
Set could
It's
die
got some
here.
potential.
Oh, the
Ooh,
damage
wow.
comes out. But the Urgot, the Black Cleaver, making all the difference there in that skirmish. But the set's still almost coming out of that with a kill or two.
Yeah, that should show everybody just how strong this set is at the moment, where even though Ari and Urgot are throwing everything they got at him, he still nearly comes out on top of that fight. He is the boss for a reason.
He is the boss for a
But
reason.
Urgot gets the shutdown gold, and more
Oh,
importantly,
Twitch
they
and
get the wave
stealth,
pushing to the top.
rat-a-tat-tat, gotta be coming out here. The Swain ultimate used. And that's a dead Swain through ultimate. Caitlyn gonna come out with the ultimate as well, and the good guy Twitch. The set
What?
flank, where did that come? The ward near Bush, and he gets the shutdown of the Urgots, and everybody just throwing everything at the freaking kitchen
What
sink
is
here. Echo
happening?
flashing forward, Echo ultimate coming back. The Warwick is stunned in place for an eternity. The Caitlyn's getting bare kills here. That's 2 kills for her. And just, jeez,
What was that?
the set TP'd to the ward. The classic bush ward next to the raptor pit ran all the way around behind mid turret and just deleted Urgot off the face of the map, and the Urgot died with ultimate crucially, which gives the team even more fearing from the team, and the Warwick flying in from the side as well, but the Warwick's so far behind at this point. Set is level 12, it's level 10. It's a 2-level gap in the top lane. It's a bigger top gap than me versus the top laner yesterday.
Oh, they
Oh,
really caught out Swain
but the
there.
Swain's here. But the R is going to use the Ignite. The stopwatch may save him, however. It's not safe for eBROS to be there right now. However, the Warwick
It's a
ultimate's going to come.
4v4.
It's
Oh
a
no, never mind. It's a
4v4.
3v.
Yeah. The Urgot is soloing Herald up top side, but Urgot is your strongest member, and Urgot's the person that is the most meaningful. The Echo W, oh, BDD, is that you? It's not, however, as they all run away, but the Echo is full HP, as Sheen completed a very big power spike for this Echo.
Oh!
Flash forward, face breaker, and gets double kills. That damage from the set is immense, and that is a huge 3 for nothing, currently gonna be 4, because this, that Leona's dead. And that's Drake priority. Urgot is the only one alive. However,
eBROS, you should know by now that this set has no fear. He doesn't care if he has to flash in all 4 of you. He'll do it.
Set gets 700 damage shields for free. He doesn't.
For
He
free,
doesn't.
yeah.
It's not. It's a skill, yes. But he's level 12. He has 3 points in that ability right now.
Yeah,
Imagine when that hits
he's
5.
this far ahead with a Bork, Ninja Tabby, and a Bramble Vest. It's not only difficult to kill him because of those items, he also just packs a punch with just the Bork.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. So what eBROS has to do here is they kind of have to chill out for a little bit, get their bearings, and they have to just go to their lane assignments. They have to just try to slow the game down. They have to let Twitch get enough items where he is the hyper carry that was prophesied when they picked him in the first place.
Correct. Warwick being able to suss out the Echo backing there. I saw the ping onto the top lane brush where Echo is based. Electrocute quickly there. The big thing that eBROS needs to do is fight with their strongest member. The one member not in that fight from the side of eBROS was Urgot. He was taking Herald solo. And something I try to preach right now is that second Herald, unless there's quite literally nothing else on the map, it is not worth your time. It is not worth the gold investment. It is not worth the time investment. It's just math. There's tons of videos about there. I'm just gonna quote LS basically at this point. I'm preaching the teachings of Leandres. However, Morello's here as an item for the side of eBROS, or yes, eBROS is very warranted in this game between set healing. It's not Conqueror Mumu. I was gonna say healing on the Mumu. Swain probably most importantly, or second most importantly, set's probably still the most important. But we see Phage built, and a Kindle Gem, so that's gonna be Bork. for the set coming in very soon. I would assume that's 600 gold. He's 300 gold off of his Black Cleaver. Sorry, not Bork. He already has that item built. Um, a lot of something else to note that any tank on this team should basically be building tabbies because of the lack of tabbies. Thorg finally ticking over to level 11, which is very good for him. He's been level 10 for a long time. Randomonium barely missing.
Randomonium Missile Knight could dive him under tower though and get the kill.
Oh,
That tower is almost
yeah.
dead. Warwick shouldn't be staying there.
Oh, Solar Flare coming out from Leon, a 90 caliber net backwards, and the unconsequential charm missed on the minion barely. However, I do see we still do see
They want to make a play mid.
It's a play mid. Warwick's top side, it's a 4v5 if they get to engage here, but they retreat back to tower. You can't dive a Twitch unless you get this Twitch locked down because he's just gonna rat that all over you.
Oh, and baby!
Ari coming out huge there, gonna use all 3 ultimate charges. Rat-a-tat-tat's gonna come out real quick. The Echo ultimate is coming out. The Echo W is there. The Twitch is dying, but the Locket of the Iron Solari, sorry, shields a lot of damage coming out from the Echo, but the Locket is now on cooldown.
Yep.
And Echo was unsuccessful in his assassination attempt because there was 3 members there. Well, Ari's assassination attempt on the Swain was successful because she was the only one there.
They provided enough peel, enough protection for Twitch, and by forcing the ultimate out of Echo, that's basically what they needed to do to prevent Echo from going again on Twitch and re-engaging for another assassination attempt. So well done, eBROS, for all that protection, all that peel. That's what you have to keep doing every single fight, or you will lose this game.
Yeah.
And I did also want to praise that even though eBROS were behind,
they're going for plays.
They are going for plays. They're still staying in it. They're still they're taking risks. But when you're behind, you have to take a risk anyway to try to stay in the game as is. So I applaud them for not giving up, and I applaud them for not just accepting a slow defeat. They're trying to fight back as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Morello's completed for the Ari now. A empty Magi's. An empty Book of Death. What is it? What Death Note? There it is.
Yeah.
Came out with the reference eventually. An empty Death Note from Echo.
Yeah, that's you hate to see an empty one of those, I tell you that.
I don't know if that was just purchased. It was the Magi's was just purchased, but I don't remember if there was possible catch out on the Urgot. W always active here. E backwards, throwing him back over. Is that con from Echo ultimate though is just too much. The flash away from scrambles. I don't know if that was warranted. The Curse of the Sad Mummy also comes out. They're there, but the Twitch isn't there. The Warwick isn't there. The Ari isn't there, and they're just giving kills over.
Yeah, just funneling in one by one.
They're funneling over one by one. They should have been spending all this time as they died clearing vision to try to get a just REQ steal, Twitch R just over the wall. However, they are pulling it out. They're doing the right thing. They should not be doing this. They should be getting vision prepped for Dragon. Or for Baron, sorry.
Yeah, as soon as Urgot got caught out there, his goal was to waste as much of their time as he possibly could, so that his team could do something during that span of time. Whether that was everybody calm down, converge, and we turn this fight around, or if that was go somewhere else on the map, take care of something else, do something. And eBROS didn't really do anything with the time that Scrambles was buying all of them, unfortunately. They could have been pushing mid wave up to like potentially get mid tower, for instance, because mid tower is low enough. They might have been able to get a tower, since all of Apes Together Strong was bot lane. They left all their objectives wide open.
Yeah, they could have prioritized just all the objectives. Obviously, they could have taken all the Randomonium's jungle. They could have pressured Baron quite even without it. They have Twitch with Bork and just completed Runans, which is very good. However, now 4 stacks on the Death Note, and the Swain, the Eye of War, is gonna do some damage, and the Rat-a-tat-tat, and the 2 flashes committed. It's Cleanse also to get rid of the Ignite, I believe. No knowledge of mechanics. However, Urgot's ultimate can snipe, so Slavigoon's gonna walk it all the way back, but that's a flash used from the Twitch for no kill. That's scary for the Twitch. However, Caitlyn also did use both her summons, but she's not the... Actually, she's going to be a big issue. I just realized she's 6-1. But Baron is being pressured here. Caitlyn's not there, Echo's not there, but Echo doesn't have TP. The
Yeah.
sets, however, they just can't do it. They don't have
They make the
enough
smart call
damage.
here, yeah.
Just a threat. It makes people come to one side of the map.
Yep. Warwick, I
Works.
feel, should have been there. They needed Warwick there just to help watch for
Mhm.
any of Apes Together Strong coming there to take the Baron, contest it, and also just he does add a lot of DPS there on the Baron too.
He adds a lot of DPS on the Baron. He adds tankiness, so people's armors aren't getting shred because he has his E, which just reduces damage flat, just like Alistar ultimate. He has a suppression with lifesteal attached to it. Now the entirety of ATS is going to walk in and clear Baron vision. That's a lot of wards on Baron. Now that I look at that, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Twitch is going to get this receive a red buff here for his time committed bot side. That's not seen. The Warwick isn't seen, as the controller that was in the Pixel Brush was also not there. However, the big scary thing right now, as I will mention, is it's Cloud Soul Point, and with
That's much better, I feel, for Apes Together Strong than it is for
so
eBROS.
set ult is gross. What's the most gross ultimate on this entire match, however, is Swain.
I was gonna say Swain, yeah.
Swain is disgusting with that ultimate. And guess what champion can get a 9-second ulti cooldown if everything goes right? That's Echo. However, I don't think 9 seconds is going to happen in this game.
Probably not.
25 seconds sounds about right, however, because that'll be 3 Cloud Souls, 40% CDR surely at some point. And so that's 30%, that's 70% CDR, and depending if he has Ultimate Hunter in his runes, who knows? That's huge. Echo ulting twice in a fight is no fun to deal with.
Not
But
at all.
the MS is just so nice on basically every champion on their team except for Caitlyn because she stands still.
Yeah. I kind of all that eBros need is one good team fight here with Twitch staying alive, just pounding damage on top of them. He's got the Bork, he's got the Hurricane, he's also got a BF sword to add more damage. They can win fights. They
Yeah,
just have to
however,
play the fights better than Apes plays the fights. And
considerably, yeah, with a 3k gold disadvantage, the towers are even. It's a 3k gold disadvantage. The Ari here is possibly gonna get caught out. There's 5 members here, and that's a lot of damage coming out, and that Ari's dead. That's with Baron up on the board, and Cloud Drake up in 30 seconds. That is not the time to get caught out. You cannot R aggressively. The Echo now has 8 stacks on on the Death Notes, and that's scary. The Warwick, however, I will commend, has now equalized his level deficit.
Urgot isn't there either.
Urgot also isn't there for whatever reason. The Solar Flare comes out, does lock down the Swain, but the Swain isn't the person you should be targeting in priority. The set just flashes on top of the Twitch, and the Twitch is getting annihilated 1v1 by the set, and the set basically just solo kills the Twitch, and the team fight is over before it even starts. The Urgot isn't there. And
Yeah.
ATS just demolishes the team fight, runs it over in the 3v5. And I don't know why Scramble's just, for some reason, isn't with the team.
I almost feel like that was a split call where Scrambles was probably calling for Dragon to prevent the Dragon Soul while everybody else was calling to contest the Baron. And so because there wasn't an agreement there, everybody just kind of got split up and, they didn't all agree to just follow one call.
However, the set burn TP there to get the Urgot to no avail. The Urgot flashes, however, but they do get Cloud Drake. So let's reduce ultimate cooldown for all champions, which is nice on champions like Leona or Urgot. It's ultimate CD is always good, no? So there's like very few champions who are like, ultimate CD like Teemo, but like Teemo. But yeah, it's a very rough game state because of Baron now. It's going to be harder for them to clear. They have okay clear between Urgot, Ari, and Twitch. Twitch can ultimate the wave if they are feeling hard pressed. But Set should really Set's in no danger really. Set is very strong, very tanky. I think he gets any 2v1 done right now just how strong he is. I'm not saying that it's justified that he's by himself, but I think he just wins that outright right now, and this champion's been nerfed. I think more times than Aphelios has this year, to be honest.
You might be right about that.
However, we
And
see do see,
Ari goes for another pick in a kind of a bad spot too.
yeah.
I feel like Ari is getting a little bit of the Lee syndrome here, where
Mhm.
she sees an opening and just wants to go for it when she really needs to be a little bit more cautious with the moment she's picking here.
The biggest problem I see is I feel like I've seen Twitch at level 12 for way too long at this point. 2 levels down on the enemy carry from the Twitch, 2 levels down on the enemy support on the Leona. The jungle is, however, up a level, but Cyanide is up a level, and Warwick was equal just a second ago, but this set has passively gained the experience from this mid lane. But I guess it's about time that we hit that NA ramp style of game. Ari missing charm just barely.
Urgot's waiting for a flank opportunity.
Urgot's waiting for a flank, but I think this is the time you go because your Leon is getting engaged on, who's really close to the Twitch. With the lockdown, and Solari keeps the Twitch alive for a really long time. The Urgot on the flank is not doing enough damage. He's not doing any damage, really. Alright, dashes forward, the 90 caliber, and that misses, but the Warwick with the 3-man fear in the ultimate, but getting it cancelled by the facebreaker. The ultimate is coming out from the Urgots, but it only kills one person at a time. He only got a fear on 2 people, so everybody just kites back. The Caitlyn with red buff just fires out of the backline, and the Twitch is by himself. He's down 2 levels. He has no damage. He only has 2 items. He hasn't scaled. And that team fight was just an absolute washout, even with all the CC that went on to certain members, even with the Scramble's ideal flank on this Urgot right now. They're just not tanky enough. They just don't have enough damage. They don't have enough peel. The Leona's back up. The solar flare completely whiffs. The exhaust is used on from the Swain onto the Twitch to not do anything, but the heal is also used unnecessarily. I think that's Nimbus Cloak movement speed down in the next team fight with heal. But
yeah, Apes are just kind of having their way with every single part of the eBROS side of the map. They're doing whatever they want to, and they're just getting away with it. They're that far ahead at the moment. That's what happens when you get an 8,000 gold lead, ladies and gentlemen. You just kind of get to do whatever you want. So we have Soul opportunity coming up here in just over a minute for Apes Together Strong. And eBROS kind of have to make a last stand here. They have to put all 5 of their team members there at Dragon Pit to contest this dragon and just kind of go for it. Because if Apes Together Strong does keep walking all over them and get to do whatever they want, eBROS is just going to slowly bleed out here for the next 5 minutes or so until the game's done. So they kind of need to make a final stand. They need to make an all-out play here. They need to take a huge risk and hope that it pays off.
The gold graph is going to be crazy this game. It went from 2k to 5k to now 8k, almost 9. No, just 8k right now. I lied. In a span of a very short span. The Echo, we were making fun of it for having 0 stacks on the death notes, and look at it now, it has 18. And
yeah, I know, right? We spoke a little too soon on that one. And Warwick is top right now. Apes easily can tell that it's a 5v4 if they just go to Dragon. They know that this is Dragon for them. They know that this is Soul. Warwick shouldn't be up there.
What I want right now is I'm gonna check. Oh, the team fight happening. I can't speak my point right now. But Solar Flare using the Caitlyn, she's not gonna get damage on the backline right now. But the Leona is stunned for eternity, and that doesn't matter. But she flashes away. But the E just one shots. Holy dang! The Warwick is in the backline by himself. But the set is also here now. Everything is going downhill very fast. The Twitch doesn't get a free hit. He gets a hit by the Mummy. That is very, very sad. The Urgot flips over. All that is left is the Ari running away for eternity. And the saddest thing is that Echo has 24 stacks on his Magi's now and has potion chugging. I think this is just GG in game 1 of the series.
There's too much time left on the death timers. Apes are gonna easily clear out this tower and then take out the Nexus. Ari can't stop this on her own. She's not strong enough.
Yeah, unfortunate. What I was gonna mention is that there was a ward in eBROS base that the set could TP to if the fight happened in the lane. Possible turn here. I think they just free hit end. It's GG.
Yeah.
29 to 9, 10k gold lead at the end of the game. I just feel like from the set 2v1 in the top lane, it was kind of just doomed.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate play that kind of got the ball rolling in Apes in their favor.
Oh,
As
oh.
soon as you lose that 2v1, Set just has a huge advantage, and you cannot keep giving the Set kills at that point. You have to try to deny him as many resources as possible, and
Yeah,
it just didn't work
the
out.
the Warwick pick not working out, and
Yeah, not really. I don't like the Warwick pickup against Set at all. Like, because as we saw, all Set had to do was build Ninja Tabby, Bramble Vest, and Warwick can't do anything at that point. He's just useless in that 1v1.
and Cyanide pulling out the BM on me again, selling all those items and getting him McHale's. The pain just doesn't stop in this
It
chat right
it
now.
it doesn't stop. So one thing I want to point out that I'm a little bit surprised on here when we look at the damage graphs. I'm not surprised that Set had the most damage. What I am surprised about is how little damage uh the Warwick was doing, because that shows just how effective Set was at shutting him down this game.
Hmm.
I thought that Warwick wasn't going to have a lot of damage compared to like Ari or Twitch, but I didn't think it would be that much lower. So that just goes to show how good Blaney was in this first game. So uh, I think what we need to see out of uh, game number 2 here, what we need to see out of eBROS to change things up to give them a better shot here in game number 2.
Is pick an
Um,
actual top laner.
Pick an actual top laner might help out a bit. I don't mind the Urgot jungle. That worked out way better than I thought it would. So I actually don't mind that. That seems okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the Urgot jungle worked how it was supposed to. I think Scrambles as a player and his positioning on the map around key objectives was atrocious, however.
Yeah, like when the rest of the team was contesting Baron while Scrambles was still by Dragon Pin coming up to meet them.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. I don't know. Still, I think that was just a split call where the team couldn't agree on what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like if the team had just all gone for Dragon, it would have been fine, because you're still getting another Dragon without handing over any more kills to the other team. I feel like that would have been fine. Um, uh, So yeah, we'll see what the two teams do here, how they change up their strategies, what kind of new bans or picks we're going to see for game number 2. But we're going to take a short break while we let the teams talk it over, and while we get to take a break and grab a drink of water, we will see you guys back here in just a little bit for game number 2.
Coming at you live, real, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break the rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. Never going back, nah, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break the rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. I switch key, I'll let your face off, disappear, I'm your eraser. Aim the cut just like a razor, murder business, world my blazer. I got all the boys on me, I got all the lines on ring. Knocking dead, turning heads, I got all the eyes on me. Pretty face, 걸어 들어와, 유행 선두자. 원하지만 못 찾아나, 애가 찾아나. You like whoa, 갈리 유도 go, 난 알지, I know. 준비해, cause I like the ball, 멈추지 않아. 나를 그게 like a bag, 그거 말고 bye. 믿어봐, 그만큼 크게 어깨 펴고 high. 100% 덤비지 못해, 죽여주잖아. 나는 boss, 간지 with the sauce, 원하면 줄게. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. Coming at you live, real, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break the rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. Never going back, nah, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break the rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. It's crazy. Sorry for the bad news, sorry I'm so bad. Only took a minute for me to get what you had. sorry for the bad news, no, it makes you sad. Live for a minute, baby, you should pack your bags. Way that I look should be breaking the law. If I don't got it, I take what I want. My circle small like a round of applause. You know that I love the sound of applause. You know I mean everything that I say. When you see me come and get out of the way. Back in the sleigh, back in the sleigh. Back and I'm better and ready to stay. I'm doing damage when that's how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. But the night that I hit, I connect you to live on the edge of insane. Crazy.
Sorry, not sorry for being the best. 언제든지 내가 좀 mess. Look at the gold, all on my chest. Look at the gold, call it a flex.
Again, I would be lay the crown, but count us higher than a mountain, and we be up here for the long run, strapping for a long one. We got everybody on one. Now you coming at the king, so you better not miss. And we only get stronger with everything I carry up on my back. You should paint it up with a target. Why would you dare me? Lining up, think you're dreaming of greatness. Send you back home, let you wake up. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come and get your sport out the head. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you coming, my name you ought to know by now. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
在以后，除了是傻子，还有其他吗？我左右，键盘琵琶在时间滴答着，还不够。你的固执让我来守候，哪怕太迟也不想以后。就在这时放肆的挑逗。I got the heart of a lion, I know the harder you climb, the harder you fall. I'm at the top of the mountain, too many bodies to count. I've been through it all. I had to weather the storm to get to the level I'm on. That's how the legend was born. All of my enemies already dead. I'm born, I'm ready for war. They know I'm ready for war. I told them we're taking over. Got it all locked up.
And welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a great break, especially all like 70 of you that got tier 1 subs thanks to
Seven,
Lygos.
71 now.
Lygos, thank you so much for all of the sub gifts here. Thank you. Gonna give you a shout out because that is an insane number of people to do that for. But back to the match at hand. We're getting ready for game number 2, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens because last night, Bronze Penguins, they lost their first game in their series, but they came back and they won game 2 and then they won game 3. So I kind of want it to be a little bit poetic and have the eBROS win at least game number 2 just to keep the series going.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it real soon here. Tommy, what would you like to see as far as changes from both teams heading into game number 2 here, or would you even like to see some changes as far as what the Apes did in game 1?
I'm a firm believer if it worked, you don't fix it, and if it didn't work again, you don't fix it, as evident by our drafts last night. But I don't think ATS has to change anything with their bands. Same sides, same everything. I don't think it really matters. Like what they banned, they could throw an Urgot ban instead of whatever one of the other bans they threw at them. Like instead of Samira, I don't think Samira is a huge deal. Like I don't think she is as scary as everyone makes her out to be. She is very strong, don't make me wrong, but I don't think she's like a Felios launch broken like everybody makes her seem. But on the side of eBROS, I think Lulu top. But I I think basically I think he needs something to go one for Are You Kidding Me?
Lagos,
Best 21.
you have to stop. We can't keep calling you out and thanking you in the middle of the stream. Like we can't keep doing this, dude.
I'm not an actual streamer by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to thank Lacoste 2000 for
Yeah.
gifting 20 tier 1 subs to the community. Uh,
Where were we now? We were talking about Samir and how she's not broken or something like that, I
I don't
think.
think I don't think she's bare broken like everybody
Yeah.
thinks she
I
is.
like she is good. I love playing her, and she's definitely a playmaking style champion. But if I was Apes Together Strong after that first game, I would be going into game number 2 having the confidence that you can get onto the Samira. If they were able to get onto Twitch with all the protection Twitch had, they can get onto Samira and lock her down. She has a lower attack range than Twitch does. I think they should have that confidence going into this game.
Yeah, I think what eBros needs to do is because their early 1v1 was quite good because they just 2v2'd very well early on, is they need to pick something more oriented towards the 2v2. Something like the Ashe, for example, or picking Caitlyn themselves even, or possibly looking at Senna, because Senna is very potent, has self-peel, has healing for the team, is a very good 2v2 champion, is just straight broken, needs nerf still. The soul amount isn't the nerf that we needed. I'm gonna complain about Senna some more. Glacial's still broken.
By the way, we have the real Bunny Fufu in the chat right now watching the stream.
Oh,
That is the real Bunny Fufu. He is in the stream watching the game right
that
now.
is verified. Ayo, Bunny Fufu, my G.
Shout out to Bunny Fufu. Hey, welcome to the stream.
That's crazy.
Don't complain about the casting too much. We're all like kind of volunteering here. Please be gentle, my lord, my king.
Thresh God himself.
The Thresh God himself is in here.
I watched his montages to get good.
So we have the spectate link for the pro draft. The two teams are getting ready right now as we speak here, and I think you're pretty accurate about what we need to see from the two teams going into game number 2. Is there anything that you would specifically like to see going into game number 2? Any maybe champs that the players might pick that you would love to see here, or any team comps that you're kind of hoping for, or strategies maybe? What are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I'm going. For for eBros, I think the Urgot is fine. I think the Urgot is great. I think the Ari is fine. The Ari outside of the Ari moment, just like how I like to call Zoe, but like Zoe alting forward, the Zoe moment. As long as we don't get any more Ari moments, I think the Ari is fine. I think the things they need to change is the Warwick needs to be a better bruiser top laner, or it needs to be a better bruiser top laner. To deal with the set, something like a Mordekaiser is an option. Not necessarily a bruiser, but um, something like that to match it. And a huge team fight AD carry that has potency in the early game, mid game, and late game probably falls off towards the late game because let's be honest, how many games are going past 45 minutes right now? That's where
Yeah.
Twitch is strongest, and Twitch ain't gonna get that far. And eBros, banning the Ashe instead of picking it, you have first pick.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
I think it's interesting coming from them. I don't know why they would ban the Ashe unless they're planning on first picking Caitlyn and they don't want the Apes to pick Ashe in response. Maybe I think that's the only reason why you would ban Ashe. But
I think that is, but I just at the same time I'm just like, why? Missed ban?
is that a misban?
Question.
Maybe. It's probably
It's
not a
Wukong.
misban.
It's
Oh, that's
Wukong.
Wukong. Oh,
It
that
was
makes sense.
hovered. It was hovered when it was going through. They just locked it in late.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
That makes sense. They banned Wukong game number 1. Makes sense to keep that ban going into game 2 because Wukong is pretty good in the right hands, and both Scrambles and Potato Fist up in top lane can play Wukong, so it's a good flex pick for the team.
okay, Lagos, you need to stop for right now, lad. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. God, he gave a tier 3 sub to Bunny Fufu. Are you simping?
He gave it to Bunny Fufu.
Are
Yep,
you
and
simping?
there is the Caitlyn first pick, just like I thought they were going to do. Not surprised by that at all. And what I am surprised is that they didn't ban Set, unless they feel like they have a good plan to go up against Set with.
Yeah, I think that
I feel
Ash
like you should
ban
just ban it.
can be. I think Ash should be a set ban 100% of the time. And unless eBros has something in store for the set that we're just not prepared for, like I don't know, maybe a Yordle in the top lane. I don't know what they're gonna do about it. Um,
All right, bringing Urgot back. I respect it. Urgot was
but
great last game.
the
He did
Urgot,
his job.
I see nothing wrong with the Urgot pick and what it did in team fights. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I just need Scrambles, if he's going to pilot this champion, to be in the right place at the right time. Because last game, there was too many instances and they're
Oh,
doing
they
it to me.
locked in the Lulu. It wasn't a troll.
Okay, no, but this is support for sure. It's definitely support. There's
It's
no way.
gotta be support Lulu though.
It has to be support. It's not me playing top lane, guys. Relax.
I thought for sure
Relax.
that was just a troll to mess with you after yesterday, but no, they actually want to
Oh,
play it. I like it.
oh, man. The Amumu hover, the Leona hover, the Orin hover, and the Dare. Okay, yes. So last time we were talking about it, the Urgot, the Darius ban from last game now makes more sense
Yeah, it now
because
makes
it
more
was
sense.
Urgot jungle because they did their research. I had seen it, but hadn't thought about it until after the fact. The Darius ban now makes sense. We're sorry, ATS. The Vlad ban again could be coming out. To me, you're banning Kennen here because Kennen is Mr. Cyanite's premier champion after the Akali. He's played it. I've seen him play it. I've played with him. I've played against it. It's a very good champion in his hands. He likes to play it in the mid lane. He blinds that stuff into random stuff. But they're going to get rid of the Echo, which makes sense. But I don't
Okay.
think, with how Vlad is played in this league, I don't think Vlad warrants a ban.
Cyanide has a very good Vlad.
Does he?
He has a very good Vlad.
I mean, are we talking like the Illuminati 17 Vlad, or like are we talking like?
I have seen Cyanide trash people with Vladimir.
Okay, okay.
And since that scales into late game, I feel like that's a good pick to take away from him personally.
Fair enough, fair enough. And the Orn pick, there we go, the prodigal son, the Ram God himself, the only relevant champion of the game, and will never fall out of the meta because of how strong he is.
So
Orn.
final pick here for mid lane. Are they or maybe that's a
No,
Lulu mid?
no, they're not
No.
playing Lulu mid. They're not
They're
doing this
hovering
stream.
Thresh just because Bunny Fufu's in the chat. That's what's going on.
Has to be, right?
Has to be. Yep, they lock in the Talia. All right, so this is a really weird, interesting composition by eBROS. That's got Ornn and Urgot could both go top or jungle, but it's likely the Urgot jungle just because of Scrambles playing it. Um,
Yes,
and Potato
I
Fist can play Ornn very well, so that's going to work out for him up in top. He can also survive in a fight against Set. He's not going to win against Set probably, but he'll
mean,
at least be able to survive more than the Warwick was able to.
have you seen Ornn though?
I mean, you've been on Ornn duty basically all season long, so you would have way more experience with that champion than me.
All right, let
At
me
this
tell you
point.
how Ornn works. Ornn doesn't lose lane. Ornn wins lane. If you solo kill Ornn, it doesn't matter. If he solo kills you, you suck. No, Ornn is a champion that does literally everything you
Oh
want.
wait! Cyanide is shouting out that something was Ezreal. Which Jin is Ezreal. I think he's calling out that Jin was supposed to be Ezreal. So okay, that
Do
is a
we allow?
different. Okay. I personally love Ezreal. He's one of my favorite champions in the entire game, so I'll be very happy to see him.
You like Ezreal?
Dude, Ezreal's so much fun to play. I can't help but love
Despicable.
it. Uh,
Despicable. Get Ezreal out of my games. Ezreal is my least favorite champion to lane with. It's my least favorite champion to play against.
oh,
It is
dude. Oh
toxic.
man, I'm so sorry because my least favorite champion to play against is Swain. So I mean,
I
um,
also hate Swain,
I
so
got to live that nightmare in that last game. So that it was like Vietnam flashbacks there every single time we saw bot lane.
uh,
So we are hopefully gonna have the teams here lining up. There we go. They started the client for the picks. So looking at the two team comps here, do you give either side like a nod or to have an advantage here in this lineup, or do you think it's a pretty even
uh,
match?
I give the draft advantage to eBROS for sure because Orin Gap first of all, and then not biased analysis by the way at all.
Not at
Um,
all.
but Ornn, very strong. Urgot, very strong. Talia is the wild card in this draft for me. Talia can be very strong. She does well into Ari because the Ari can no longer dash forward if the Talia's reaction time is good without taking buttloads of damage. And Talia is the thing about Talia that I see that hurts Talia players the most is ineffective uses of her ultimate. And I feel like this fact is going to be the most important part of the game, is whether or not the Talia ultimate usage is optimal or just even good. Because Talia ultimate on top of something like Ornn ultimate can zone off and create new choke points for the fight. For Ornn to just knock everything down like it's a bowling alley. Right? So Talia plus Ornn ultimate is very, very strong if the Talia can execute properly. And Caitlyn Lulu, very strong lane. I don't necessarily like Lulu into Morgana. Lulu, because Morgana has the ability to black shield basically anything Lulu wants to. Lulu optimally doesn't really want to max Q in lane unless she's going Ardent, which you really don't. Ardent isn't really the motive. You want to go Athene's with a Caitlyn, or you want to go Mikhail's because of the Morgana. So, you know, just ATS's draft is very. The top side of the map is the same with Setamumu. It's very tanky. Caitlyn, however, doesn't really like to build Bork, and that's the big problem for me, is where is the tank shredding going to come from? Talia, yes, will prioritize things like Leandries and Morellos and tank shredding items, right? But the Ornn, that's not his job. The Lulu, that's not her job. The Urgot will probably build Black Cleaver, but I'm not. The point of the Urgot is to kill somebody and execute them with the ultimate, jump into the backline with Flash or something of the like, and get a huge fear, and then get onto this Ezreal, get onto this Ari, who has so much mobility. Because they're feared, you'll be able to lock them down more effectively. That's the scary thing here, is that the mobility of this team, especially the main damage sources, have so much mobility. And that's where I see ATS having a possibility to win this game, depending on the game state, because Urgot, in my in my eyes, after seeing Scrambles played, I think Urgot should be one of those champions that is able to bully out a Namumu early, just like a Olaf could. And like from what I can see, because Urgot's dueling against a Namumu early on, he should win that, from what I can tell. Especially with the Conqueror that he ran last time, I don't think Amumu has a world where he escapes without burning at least a flash early on. So I think the Urgot wants to get into the Amumu's face as soon as possible. Third Master gifting 10 subs.
Yep, Derp
What is
Master, thank
going
you.
on, Ty?
Everybody's just so generous today in the Twitch channel. Thank you everybody for like being so cool today, especially because we are live casting these playoff games. I don't want to swear here, but I'm getting real close to it. I'm trying to keep this as family friendly as possible. But community, way to come out tonight and be here to watch the playoffs and support each other and just buying subs for everyone here because I think you covered everybody in the chat at this point like 3 times over. Lagos, buy me dinner. Yes, I will take some dinner. Thank you. Wine and dine me all you want.
Yeah, can I e-date you, Lagos?
Yeah,
Please,
daddy. Anyway, so looking at the 2 team comps that we have here, yeah, I mean like there's so much. I agree completely with the Talia. I have no clue how the Talia is going to work out for eBROS.
Talia is just one of those champions. It's like you're super hyped to see it, and you're just super scared at the same time to
Yeah.
see it. However, I have been informed Thunderstorm plays a mean Talia from outside
right.
sources. I will take a quick gander, even at his op.gg, to see how much proficiency he has on the champion.
I would assume if they pick it for a playoff game, it's quite a bit.
I would assume so too, but then again,
I mean, yeah, they might just go for it and give a shot, see what happens.
then again, Lulu top lane. So I'm not going to say his stats out loud because they're not impressive on op.gg, but I'm sure he can play the champion quite effectively.
Yeah. I think it's mid lane's going to be fun to watch. It's another champion that Cyanite can make some plays with and kind of show off a little bit with Ari. He can make some moves there if he wants to. I want to see how good Slavic Goon is on the Ezreal here, especially paired up with the Morgana. See how those two pair compared to the Caitlyn Lulu. I think the Lulu pick was pretty intelligent considering that they picked it after the Morgana was picked. Because once Morgana's picked, you know that you can't pick a support that has a lot of CC because Morgana's just going to spell shield it. So they go with Lulu, who has poke instead. I like that as a counter pick there.
Mm-hmm. It's Lulu is so the support trifecta in the bot lane. I'm about to blow people's minds. So basically, how the support. So you guys, everybody knows the Cassio, Orianna, Syndra trifecta in the mid lane, where each of them counters each other. It's like fire, water, grass, but in supports, it's tanky engage beats enchanters, who beat Morgana, who beat tanky engage. That's the circle of life in the bot lane. And Lulu falls in the enchanter category. So, in theory, this Caitlyn Lulu should have the advantage on the Ezreal Morgana, because Ezreal Morgana, even if Morgana hits a binding, there's not like a whole bunch of guaranteed damage going to be coming out from the Ezreal, outside of like W autos and E forwards with the E damage, and maybe a Q or two, right? But in an idealistic scenario, they farm this lane out, both sides. This Caitlyn Lulu should not be getting kills in lane. Ezreal Morgana should also not be getting kills in lane. Now we're going to take a quick gander at runes. Grasp of the Undying for the Ornn into the set is fine. I'm a firm believer that in hard Bruiser matchups, you take Spellbinder. Not Spellbinder. Spellbook. because Spellbook allows you for more diversity, allows you safer laning phase, because you can take things like Ignite, Exhaust, Ghost to get away from the scary, scary set who will just punch you to death. On Ornn, the set has Conqueror, fine by me. It's probably his best keystone in the top lane. Not PTA Urgot again, it's Conqueror, which is fine. Aftershock Amumu, Electrocute, mid lane with Ignite, both sides again. Electrocute for the Talia as well. I've seen things like Electrocute, I've seen Phase Rush, I've seen Spellbook, I've seen Glacial as well. But Thunderstorm electing to go for the Electrocute here, which I think is fine because he needs to be a large source of damage in this game. Devranga with the fleet footwork I like. Hopefully he buys Cull. And Guardian Lulu. I like Guardian Lulu's fine. I think Guardian Lulu works just as well as basically any of other keystones. But in a lane like this where you want to idealistically be working with the Caitlyn to poke out the enemy laners, you want something like Aerie Aerie is generally the most beneficial one, even though Aerie is generally considered very weak. It is fine, but Guardian also works. Guardian on the Morgana as well, which I also find pretty good in this matchup specifically. Generally, when you're playing Morgana, you want something like Comet, or I personally like Glacial the most, because just more CC and it's easier to land your binds and you can get flamed less. Because Glacial is just a free keystone. So there's all that. And there we got
Having some fun in the
Popstar Ari doing the classic Girls' Generation genie dance. Yes, I am a K-pop nerd. Yes, leave me alone. Come at
If
me.
you're gonna flame Tommy, don't flame him for that. Flame him for the Lulu pick instead.
Yes. Please.
So yeah, I want to see if Blaney can have a repeat performance on set up in top lane here. I like you're saying, it shouldn't be possible, but if he is able to pull it off, it'll be one hell of a show out of him. I definitely want to keep an eye up. Keep an eye on things up there.
More cringe in the top lane from the Ornn from my perspective. More cringe. De-shield Ornn into melee matchups is not a motive. It is corrupting potion every day of the week. And if you're feeling so confident, you take refillable potion, you get your 350 gold, and you build whatever the hell you want in lane because you're Ornn.
That's true.
It's just Ornn things. Like, name another champion that can build things in lane. You can't because it doesn't exist.
You're right. You know what? Facts. True facts only on the casual EAL stream, everybody. We speak the truth.
Lies don't exist on the stream. Oh, Ornn getting aggressive here.
Hey, there you go, Ornn. Hey, there you go, buddy.
There we go. We like these.
There you go, potato.
Blaney playing super passive, not alpha set player. Disappointment.
Oh, man. I mean, now watch him. Umu's just going to rotate up there and get a gank early, and it's going to just undo all the progress here.
However, Amumu started red. It's the same clear from both sides. No adaptability, or I shouldn't say no adaptability. There wasn't any adaptations made in the jungle paths, which I personally... Oh, trade on the top side. See, Ornn W, very balanced.
Mid lane's going okay for the Talia also.
Yep.
And not going bad at all for her at the moment. She actually came out ahead in the trade a little bit ago, but now Cyanite's ahead after another trade that takes place. They seem pretty even so far.
They do. Potions used on both sides. Sapphire Crystal first item built in lane from the Ornn. Spicy, me likey. Looks like he might be going for Frozen Fist first. Getting that sheen in before any other item, which I like. But at the same time,
it's a very Chad move.
It's a very Chad move, but at the same time, Sunfire Cape is considerably better as an item, and you want this Talia doing as much damage as possible, so you want.
Oh, there's the Amumu heading up there for a gank. Are they going to kill the Ornn? He doesn't even suspect it.
Yeah, because he warded the top. He warded top lane. Oh, Facebreaker, cancel the Ornn dash, and that's just first blood for the top from the Ornn in the top lane. Suspecting he would get ganked from the Tribush and not through lane. I do like what Randomonium did. He cleared red, raptors, wolves, blue, Gromp, I believe, unless Scrambles just stole Gromp. But after that, he ran straight top lane, took Scuttle, and ganked top. Very unorthodox pathing, and in the end it worked out, so I guess it's free. Also, but hold up a second, we got a gank at the mid lane too. 3 out of 5 things hit on, that's a flash mid. Talia hit 3 out of 5 of her rocks. Oh, possible and big combo coming out for damage-wise because the Morgana walked into a trap. Something to note from the Morgana-Caitlyn interaction, if you walk over a Caitlyn trap with Black Shield on it, you will not get stunned, but you will still activate the headshot.
Yeah.
So Set comes back to lane with a Vampiric Scepter. And a couple 2 CS up, and the entire gold lead right now is on this Set, I would assume. Yep.
So Set going for the Bork first item here, which is the smart first item. Can't blame him at all for going that route. Because buying Ninja Tabbies and Bramble Vest is not going to work out as well against Ornn as it did for the Warwick in game number 1. And Amumu looks like he's heading bot lane for a gank, or is he just setting up vision around Dragon, maybe?
I would think it's setting up
doing an invade. Okay.
Could be because all of his things are gone. The Scrambles put down that ward in his quad area earlier. 90 caliber nets, Guardian proct, good trade out there from Devranga from under turret. I do like the relic shield on the Lulu. I do like it a lot, and it's a spell use edge from the Morgana in a double range lane. I don't really like that at all. When you're playing into double ranged. The extra 8p is nice. Oh, Ornn dash not going to get cancelled by the Facebreaker there. Farming with Qs.
Ooh. I think I'm behind you a little bit. What's your timestamp at?
609, 10, 11, 12, all in top. Oh, flash away. Evil roll, flash forward from Blaney with the W.
Yeah, I'm ahead of you actually. So you're calling stuff I've already seen.
Okay.
We'll get synced up here.
Dragon taken. I'm 645, 646, 47, 48. Okay. Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I lagged a little bit, so.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right, we're back on track though. We're all set here. So one thing that we saw in game number 1, which the trend is continuing here in game number 2, is that the eBROS go for early dragons and they usually secure them. Same thing happened this game. So while Apes Together Strong do have an early gold lead, it's only by about 1,000.
Oh, possible all-in mid lane ignite used from the Ahri, and the Talia is just dead. Yeah, Ahri just uses the dash forward, and it's just over. She gets hit by the charm. She hasn't based yet, so she was at a effective stat disadvantage. Which is something very, very important to take note of, is that if your opponent's based and you haven't, but you solo killed them and they have gold items and you don't, you're behind. A lane swap coming out, which I do much like. Get that Ornn out of that matchup. If he's not gonna, if he's not going to be building Bramble Vest like he should have rushed, then doing this is the next best thing.
Or at least Sunfire Cape.
Or at least Sunfire Cape. However, yeah, it's now a 1,000 gold lead. Galulu is getting very aggressive. Oh, flash used. Good flash was needed. The set
it is a 3v. It's a 3v4 up here in top lane though in this area until Amumu catches up.
Yes.
But they got the Rift Herald though. So
Oh,
there's nothing to contest, and Mumu backs off.
yeah.
I can see them just dropping the Rift Herald here and just diving tower with it, honestly.
Possible. They need to push. I think the Talia sits here next to the wall, over the wall. We get this wave pushed in from the top side, from the side of eBROS, and we Talia ult, catch the Morgana on one side of the wall, force her flash, force Ezreal E, and then you go for the dive. However,
But she's
Amumu
no
is now
mid
here,
inside.
Ezreal is there. The Talia leaves. I think it's very odd lane assignments, putting the set in the mid lane of the Ahri in the bot lane. It's fine because it's actually really good for Cyanites because this Ornn currently has no magic resistance. I'm really confused on the Ornn build path here because he went Mana Crystal into Chain Vest, which doesn't no 2 items build into one thing that Ornn builds really.
That's a
So
dead Ornn.
yeah, that's a dead Ornn. Doesn't get the charm, the unstoppable on the charm, and Cyanite just dives Ornn under tier 1 tower. And gets this
No
another
fear.
solo kill. No fear. There was nothing really to be concerned about. That's the potency of Corrupting Potion. If you have Corrupting Potion, you have all that mana, you have a whole bunch of health back, you get 3 shards of it, you get it every lane back. It is a very gold efficient item, and especially on something like Ornn, who you're going to get poked out by basically and lose traits to any given combination of laners that you are going to be up against, whether it be Set by himself, Ahri by himself, or the Ezreal Morgana by himself. He's going to get poked out a whole bunch. So he doesn't really get to have fun. So Corrupting Potion in this matchup I almost think is a necessity more than a luxury. However, in Bonside River, eBROS does take skill crab.
That was close.
The,
That's a real
that was
close
very
stat.
close.
So one thing I'm gonna point out here is that the goal difference is only still about 1,000 between the two teams, but if you are eBROS right now, it probably feels way worse than that. It kind of sucks to not have a kill on the board, and it kind of sucks to see Ornn sitting at 75% of those deaths on your team when Ornn is supposed to be the one that survives all the fights.
Yeah.
So they got to make sure to keep the morale up right here. They got to make sure to not lose faith, lose focus. They got to keep trying here, keep sticking to the game plan, basically.
Yeah, I agree completely. Right now the game state is pretty neutral. However, the Ocean Soul will be coming up in about 5 seconds time. And everybody's going to be down here for seemingly the Ornn's mid lane, the Talia's hovering around on some vision. The Scrambles is going to be the last person here, so it looks like they're just going to be able to take it on spawn.
Talia could just wall it off, though, to buy time if they need to.
Talia could just wall it off. We have not seen a Talia wall yet this game. WQ from Ezreal, the Ocean Dragon. The Ornn is only level 8 right here.
They're engaging hard.
Oh, there's the Ornn ultimate, the flash forward, the Set ultimate coming out as well, and the unraveled Earth not doing enough damage to the people engaging on them. That's a 3-for-1 instantly. The Caitlyn wasn't there. She was farming bot wave. Scrambles got to do nothing. He got by hit by CC. The Ornn got taken away from the fight by the Set ultimate, and the Lulu just got blown up by proxy. And it's over. Yeah. It's just over. They're all dead. That teamfight went basically as poorly as possible for eBROS.
Yeah. Amumu and Set just immediately went for the engage there on the eBROS. The second that one of them was ready to pull the trigger, the whole team was ready to pull the trigger on that. The plan the entire time was just to use Dragon as bait, and it totally paid off. So things are hopefully going to reset here in a second for eBROS so that they can catch their breath and try to come back here. Ooh, Ahri narrowly missing that charm down in bot lane.
Yeah, barely missed, but has the water guns to get our way without the glacial, which is fine. I think water guns is a very good item regardless. Hits the charm. However, Guardian and Lulu Shield are there to stop him from taking a lot of damage with the Caitlyn. Has BF Sword Pickaxe. She does bare damage right now, but hits a charm out of the Lulu. That's scary.
It's getting a little frightening, but Kaylin just needs to deal a little bit of damage here, and then she can
Ooh.
ult Ari to
Oh,
finish her
90
off.
caliber net gets hit by flash.
There it
Flash.
is.
I don't know if this kills. It does. Jeez. Caitlyn ultimate is very balanced. Caitlyn no ulti is the call in the bot lane from the RE, giving a shutdown over to the Caitlyn. Probably the least, the person you want to give it to the least. We get a well played from Cyanite in the bot lane, or from that play. The set waiting in the bush on a control ward. Ornn gonna get an auto searing charge into the wall.
Ooh.
Gonna get a long charge. Gets it. The Air God is here. The ult is missed. The ult is whiffed from Randomonium. Everybody's here. The Talia ultimate forward. The ultimate is also there from Urgot. The Fear Beyond Death. The Ezreal ultimate hits no one. And that's two really good kills. They get priority. The Scuttle Crab goes down, so they don't know how quickly the Herald is going down, but it is going down. And they get a second one at 14 minutes. Unfortunately, plates are already gone, but regardless, they're going to get some extra gold, which they
First tower is
desperately need.
huge. I mean, that's still a nice bonus gold in your pocket
Yeah.
there if you get first tower. So I'm kind of surprised that Scrambles didn't just drop it top immediately just to secure first tower.
Yeah, that also leaves something to be confusion a little bit. Leaves something to the confusion. Nice.
It's all right. It's a Monday. I forgive you. You know.
Yikes in the chat.
Just. Here comes the Ari with a gank down in bot lane. Misses the charm.
This is the charm.
Oh wow.
Good sidesteps, good plays, but the Lulu still dies? Question mark? Yes, surely? Yes. But the Ornn is here. Is that a TP in? Flash away? Unlucky? Whole team is there. Well, that's unfortunate for the side of eBROS.
We had a glimmer of hope a little bit ago up by Baron Pit, so can eBROS hold on at this point?
Looking
and
at
not lose any more people.
The gold gap is only 1,000 at this point. There's an award over the wall, which Ari's just throwing skill shots at.
Still haven't seen a Talia wall yet, either offensively or defensively.
We did in the dragon fight, in the Baron Pit fight.
Oh, we did?
She ulted to get there. She ulted to get there.
I didn't notice it. There was so much going on.
Yeah, she ulted there, and it also blocked off the tri wall, like the escape through tri brush. Ooh, Ornn getting the searing charge onto the place. Ornn ultimate also coming down. Morgana walking forward has the Zanyas. The Ornn ultimate only hitting one person, unfortunately, and also only locking down one person. The Morgana is going to die. The Caitlyn ultimate's going to get cancelled. Scrambles flashes forward, getting a two-man fear on the set on the Amumu. The old Amumu doesn't have ultimate right now. He's almost up, however. The set ultimate comes into the backline and the set gets a huge W into the backline. It's just the Lulu, it's just the Talia. They're going to be able to kite it out, possibly. The Ruptured Earth is not enough, and it's a very close back and forth team fight. The Ezreal has red buff, and it's not able to land the Q on the Lulu to slow it down. It's a very close team fight. However, that goal, the set getting a huge shutdown onto the Caitlyn there, swings the gold lead back greater into ATS's favor. They're going to start the dragon, but I don't know. I think Scrambles is going to get to the Drake first if it doesn't die by then. However, Ezreal's red buff and Q. I don't think they get there in time. The Morgana's also there. I think this map
it's got to be the 8th dragon. I don't think they steal this.
Yeah, I also agree. There's no blast cone even. Scrambles doesn't have flash. He used it in that last team fight, if I'm not mistaken. The Caitlyn Q, almost respectable effort. But the Ornn 0-5 does complete his Sunfire Cape. He's level 10, so he's got a little bit of ways until he gets his first Ornn item. Urgot has his first Black Cleaver completed. Give me a second, I gotta speed up for a sec.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give you a second. I'll do some talking in the meantime.
Yeah.
So, Ornn, I feel like he's got to get those Merc Treads finished at this point, just to help out in the team fights a little bit more. That should be his next buy, which I can't imagine he has too much gold left to go until he can actually build that.
He needs 20 gold to get it.
Down in bot lane, Caitlyn, though, in that last team fight, if Set had not killed Caitlyn, in that team fight there, Caitlyn would have surely gotten at least a double kill on the tail end of that fight. So, kind of unlucky, Caitlyn. I feel bad for you because you could have easily pulled through there and really saved that fight for your team. So she does have damage currently. Caitlyn can totally finish off some of these players. She can make the difference. And Horn just gets charmed out of finishing his boots.
Yeah. I'm
It's
sorry.
funny.
I'm sorry, people watching the stream. My game just keeps randomly like freezing, and I like get behind like 2 or 3 seconds every time.
Yeah.
So I have to keep my timing bar open even, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I gotta do my best to keep it up to scuff, and so I can give you guys live calls.
So we see kind of the same situation we had at this point last game, where Apes has an advantage, but it's only by 1,000, 2,000 gold. It's not the end of the world. eBROS can still come back. So can eBROS do something they didn't do last game here? Can they dial it back a little bit, be a little bit more reserved in their playmaking, not just
Oh,
and
lots
as
of
I'm
flashes
speaking, we get a
being
fight.
thrown out, and lots of flashes being
Cool.
thrown out, and I just lagged through that entire thing, but a lot of damage came out. Random out even flash, missed Q, still got into the fight. Ard in got scrambles, Thunderstorm, and Angleheart. And the fight was just over. I'm assuming Set ulted and just
Yeah.
Thunderstorm. They just weren't allowed to get any damage off, and they just
Basically,
burst it
that's how
all
it went.
down. And
Apes is just so coordinated right now in comparison to eBROS. eBROS are spreading out all over the map, and Apes are specifically focusing right around mid lane, and that's how they were able to make that play. And eBROS just aren't. They're not making the same calculated movements, the same types of plays around the map. They keep trying to spread out among all of the lanes and push them all in, and it's just not working. They have to switch things up here if they want to stand a chance at taking game 2. So, Dragon is up in a minute and a half, and we see that Apes are already going over there, and they're already getting rid of Vision. They're going to be setting up their own Vision. They're already prepping for this Drake.
that's Lulu dead.
Oh my god.
The Lulu.
The CC
Guess-
chain is nuts.
Like, I guys, unironically, I'm gonna say it, but she should have bought Mikhail's. Yeah.
Oh, we get a
that's what it was.
pause.
Ezreal's game crashed from the looks of the all chats.
Interesting.
As game crashed, I have to poop, and I'm tilted from missing Flash E. We accept your surrender, classic scrambles play, so more kisses if we go 3 games. Nice.
I mean, I would love it to go 3 games, honestly. We'll see if eBROS can pull it off. Shame for Ezreal's computer crashing. I hope that this pause doesn't take too long, and more so, I hope that. Oh nope, they're coming back already. It was a very short pause.
Unpause the game.
Just for scrambles to die.
Just for scrambles to die.
And meanwhile,
yeah.
Lauren is split pushing bot lane. At this
Oh,
point, Lauren
Morgana
can't
flash
really
forward.
split push.
Morgana flash forward, and Talia
Well,
wall
that
to
was
stop.
slowing down.
But he did get Caitlyn flash, so I think support flash for AD flash is giga worth. Caitlyn, not the greatest wave clear champion. However, Talia, if she's allowed to walk far enough forward, will be able to get W's off. But Cyanide has been very good with his charms so far. Double knock up. The electrocute procced on the Ahri might. Oh, ultimate can't. Oh no. They're simping for the Caitlyn like they should be. Everything is going according to plan, but there's just too much damage from the side of ATS. The Morgana ultimate's going to come out. A lot of people are getting on a sliver HP. Urgot is up. He lands the Urgot ultimate and gets the set from long range. Down. That was a huge ultimate. It's on the set. That's a shutdown. That is a 500 gold shutdown. The Drake is alive. However, if that's the Amumu, then that is a huge play, and
Yeah.
that dissuades them from doing it. I think they still get to do it, but it dissuades
Yeah.
from. Um,
So that dragon melted really fast. I mean, what kind of objectives can you even go for if you're eBros at this moment? You're so far behind. You're sorry, 7,000 gold behind, almost 8,000. Yeah, almost 8,000.
yeah, I think
It's kind of
personally,
crazy.
yeah, personally from my perspective, you need to try to get um, you're trying to get the most immediate influxes of gold on the most important members of your team. The most important members of your team are the Talia and the Caitlyn. You're also trying to hit key item breakpoints. This Ornn, you're trying to get an Ornn enough gold to get his second Ornn upgrade. You're also trying to get into level 13 before that point, preferably level 14 so we can give Caitlyn Molten Edge. Scrambles doesn't need to be getting much gold right now. He just needs to be maintaining level pace. He's down 2 levels right now, but he just needs to be getting 1 or 2 jungle camps here or there. But he needs to be giving the majority of the gold to the Caitlyn and the Talia. The Talia also needs to complete her next item, which probably, from the looks of things, I'm going to guess is a Void Staff. And this Caitlyn needs to get as many levels as she can, and this Lulu needs to get to level 11 just for her tier 2 ultimate.
Her guy's pushing top lane. He's split pushing.
They did get it, and I would just like to credit the huge amount of wards in the blue side jungle from ATS, and Orange just gonna
Potato.
just
Buddy.
run very far into the boys, getting hit by Ezreal ultimate, maybe gets hit by Morgana bind, Searing charge, gets autoed, gets
No, he's just
fine.
wasting their time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just wasting their time. However, I don't think that's it's actually a fine play because he will be up long before any important objective spawns. However, all the wards currently in and around the Drake pit that ATS has mean nothing because the next big objective is Baron, and they will all expire by the time Drake is up. So all that prep they have there is all for naught at this point. Talia
It's
getting
good
blue
to see. It's good to see eBros at least trying to get a split push up in top lane and Ornn wasting their time.
Ornn wasted a good amount of time.
It's just it didn't amount to much in the end, I guess. You know, like they didn't get a tower out of that or anything, even though they took the attention of 3 members
But
of Apes.
the most important thing that we need to keep track of is the summoner spells. Like, basically, eBROS needs to win the next team fight, and the best chance of them doing that is with all their summoners up. Caitlyn Heal and Caitlyn Flash are coming up in less than a minute. Lulu has both their summons. Talia's Flash will be if they lose the next team fight, it'll be gone by the end of the game, but Talia is getting hit by the hook. Ezreal ult as well, that's not very good. This fight may be looking to start.
Oh, the
Ornn
Ornn
ultimate doesn't connect. Unfortunately, the Ahri's in behind them. This could spell doom for one member for eBros. The Talia is just so low. The stopwatch out from the Ahri, the flash away by scrambles, that's not what we wanted. The heal is used, the Lulu was just deleted. The ultimate, the Ornn uses the Searing Charge on the Talia wall, which is a great interaction to be using. But it's just 2 people dead on the side of eBros. It's 7-23, they're down 8k gold. They're dead for 30 seconds. Baron is up, they walk to Baron, and I believe they just walk top lane, and they end the game through that after a reset. And if they really feel like it, they wait the minute for Mountain Drake to spawn, and they get Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I think they can end the game right after resetting from Baron. Honestly, they're so far ahead.
Yeah,
it's very clear that team fight wise, there's not much at the moment that eBros can do to stop them.
Yeah,
so as soon as the Baron goes down, they're probably all going to recall. They can NA ram it right down mid lane and win the game if they want to.
Yeah. The biggest thing is that Lulu shouldn't be in mid lane. She should be getting wards right now. it should be happening automatically. I don't like ATS not resetting, especially the Arlie and Mumu. I think you just get items, you buy pots if you have them. Scrambles might be getting caught out here. Maybe he gets to be able to 1-0, but the Curse of the Sad Money is used. The ultimate is missed just barely, and he's dead for Drake spawn. That's the worst thing that could have happened. He got too greedy. Oh, but they might get set on the side. He does have a lot of damage, but the Seth ultimate from the max health damage, the face breaker cancels it. Is this the 3v1 from Blaney? The 700 true damage, 677. The flash away from the Ornn. The ignite was used too from the Lulu.
And he can just sit here and let his health come back too.
He just walks up. He walks up. The Ornn does get the cancel, but it's just not enough. The Lulu polymorph. He dashes. He's here and charges back in, but the Lulu gets the damage and the shutdown. But the shutdown goes to Lulu and not the Ornn, and that's not very good. That's not good. But the Blaney gets Spirit Visage, but the game has to just end before.
I feel like this is the end of the game. I feel like that's what we're witnessing right now.
It's
ATS just marching into the base here with Baron buff.
Okay. It's up as furthest forward as I can get.
Okay.
It's
we're seeing them sitting here in front of the Nexus towers, trying to get in with Baron buff, trying to end the game. And eBROS has to put up one hell of a defense if they're going to stop this push. They can do it. They have the potential to do it, but they got to play it really well.
That's Talia wall. They just don't walk forward. The Lulu gets hit by a bind and just possibly dies, and it's just dead. Blaney's TPing in to help and look for an end in the game. The Lulu ultimate is used, and that's just not beneficial. And everyone's just dying. They just walk forward in team fights. The Mumu dies in vain. The Lulu dies to true damage. It's just a lot of damage. The turrets don't help out quite enough. But minions will help end the game. The Baron minions. It looks like it's a 2-0. The Talia, just not enough damage. The Caitlyn, just not enough damage. The Ezreal 6-0. The Ahri 9-1. The Morgana 2-1. The Zed 10-4. And that is ATS taking the series 2-2-0.
That was I think that if we look at the stats between both games, I feel like that was a harder stomp than game one was. I think the kill count was a lot more in ATS's favor in game two there. And I don't know. It felt like a faster game too, but maybe that was just me. Who knows? I'm going to check the damage charts here real quick to take a look at something. Yeah, they're in game number one, we still saw some impressive damage numbers coming out of the eBROS, but game number two, nothing like that to be found here. I don't know if we attribute that more to Apes Together Strong just being that much better than eBROS, or if we attribute that more to eBROS not really having any early damage or not being able to do much with the damage they had throughout the entire course of the game. I'm betting more towards the second of the two there.
I agree.
Just because they were behind 4-0 early, and it was just really difficult for them to do anything in team fights. A lot of them just like Talia would die right away. Even Ornn would die right away sometimes in these fights. So I feel like it was more just because of that we don't see very impressive damage numbers. So if you had to pick an MVP from this series, I want to know who you would pick because from my point of view, it's hard to ignore Blaney's performance on set in both games because he just demolished his lane opponent game one and game two. And then on top of that, he had absolutely no fear pulling the trigger on these team fights. He was fine going in on whatever the call was along with Randomonium and just like starting off these team fights the way that Apes wanted to start these team fights. And I also got to give a shout out to Randomonium at the same time because being the draft king of Noxus that he is, being the Reaper big brain that he is with all of his spreadsheets, I have to attribute these team comps mostly to him. I'm sure the rest of the team had some input on that, but also Randomonium also showing no fear on Amumu and starting team fights up whenever he basically wanted to. But I feel like I would pick Blaney for the MVP if it was up to me.
Personally, I think Oh man, this is really hard because Blaney had his he had his good 2v1 in game one and just snowballed his lead so hard from there. Randomonium had very good team fight ultimates, had very good lockdowns with very minimal mistakes from what I saw. Cyanite both games played his champion and snowballed his lead, and what he created for himself from a 0 stack Magi to 24 stack we saw at the end of the game. Doing a lot of good work. Slavic Goon also just putting up a very impressive AD carry performance, not dying. However, he's playing Ezreal, so Ezreal, I guess. But first game, he played Caitlyn and piloted that champion very well and very effectively as well. And Uncle at the same time as well. ABCDEFFF15 is who I'm referring to when I say Uncle.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's his new summoner name. Yeah.
yeah. He put up a very good performance. On both his supports. He played Morgana and he also played Swain. The Swain was a little bit more shaky from my perspective, but oh man, overall, I think I'd also have to give it to. It pains me to say it, but I think I have to give it to Slavic Goon because he played basically what the champion was supposed to do in both games to a T. Yes, they got 2v2'd pretty hard in the first game, but they didn't die, so what does it really matter? Um, so I think I'm gonna give it my player of the games to Slavic, but I think it was a very big team effort. Um,
For sure. The team effort was very strong.
it's like on both both games are less than 10 kills on our deaths, so that's just crazy in my eyes. Just get any
Yeah,
of them anywhere.
we can get a post game interview in here. Um, Slavic or Blaney, since those were the two players we highlighted as MVPs in our eyes. Whichever one of you would like to do a post game interview, please. We would love to talk to you for a little bit.
Yeah, either one. I don't. Any player, honestly. I think anyone did well.
All right, we're gonna swap voice commands.
Alright.
All right. Let's pull in Blaney. If Blaney is ready, I see him talking in chat like he is ready to go. So let's pull him in here first. We'll get him in. Actually, we can do both at the same time if we feel like we can handle it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
All right, we can pull them both in here. Uh, Blaney, Slavagoon, whichever, hop up into the voice channel. It's open to anyone. You can just jump up here. All right, we got Blaney in the
Hello?
chat. Hey, Blaney, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Wait, no, we gotta chill. We gotta get Slavic in.
That's up to a mod. The channel's only made for 4 people, so we got to get a mod to actually pull him up.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah, you
No,
gotta
we can
pull
do
him up.
that.
You
We can
can't
do
do my
that.
boy Slavic dirty.
There we go.
There
We got him in here.
Yo!
The whole party's here. All right.
That's fine.
The whole
First
tribe.
of all, Blaney, Slavic, congratulations on the win tonight, 2-0. I think everybody was hoping for a full 3-game series just to have as much excitement as possible, but you pulled off the 2-0. I'm not sure which game was more impressive, honestly, but I just want to know. Just tell me all of the prep that went into this game tonight, because I mean I know Randomonium has his spreadsheets and I know lots of
Randomonium's a
prep
fucking
goes into it.
beast. That guy's a king of draft, I swear to God. There's not a draft we don't win with him on their fucking team.
Very
He's
true.
too good.
Sorry.
So I guess what I want to know is what was the big focus for you guys going into this matchup? Were you focusing more on their bot lane? Were you focusing more on certain bans? What was the thing that you guys were always keeping in the back of your minds heading into tonight?
Well, I mean, Slavic can probably point out but that we were focusing on their bot lane so much because we know that Slavic would have probably inted if we didn't focus it.
Yeah, okay.
So, so we needed to permaban Devranga even though we only banned one of his champs. And then at that point we were hard focused on getting our jungler pick first because Rando's super good on whatever champ he was on. And then I mean, they left upset for me both games, which I don't know, man. Not a recipe for success.
Yeah,
But
it's a
fucking
Pega.
give it to me again, and
But
I'll pop off.
One
But
one might say success.
Um,
someone kick Tommy, please.
yeah. So
That's an
so
sleeper.
so basically, we're pretty confident in our solo lanes, and confident that Rando can play around them. So really, we're just worried about the bot lane and knowing that if we won the lane or went even, we had a pretty good chance of doing well. So like first game, for instance, we picked the Caitlyn, which like ended up being really good for the Twitch. And then second game went a little bit safer with the Ezreal, which ended up working as well because we ended up going, I think, even both lanes. I don't think we
Yeah.
won either of them.
Yeah. What? So, how much did you guys actually want to change between game 1 and game 2? Because game 1 worked out so well for you guys. Was the plan to do something different game 2, or did you just say, "Hey, we'll see what they ban. We'll just play it by ear. You know, it's fine."
Well, basically, they gave us pretty much the exact same team comp. The only real ban that they changed was Caitlyn, and we got Ezreal in, or they didn't even ban Caitlyn. They first picked it, but we got the Ezreal into it. And I mean, Uncle did fine on the swing, but he was so good on the Morgana. He hit so many bindings that won us team fights.
True.
So fucking just the fact that they let through, I think too much for us to
Yeah.
not be able to play the same game.
Yeah, I was talking about the Swain before game number 2 on the stream here, basically saying that I hate playing against Swain in the bot lane, and yeah, I kind of had Vietnam flashbacks a little bit there in game 1. But yeah, Uncle made some really good plays both games in
Yeah.
that support role. So you know, props to him, props to the whole team, honestly, for like all the coordinated plays that you guys made around the map. Tommy, do you have any questions for them?
So what was going through your mind in that first game? Star's top laner here. When they kind of came at you and you were like, "Wow, this is an easy 2v1."
Yeah, they inted that so hard. Okay, so basically all I see is Warwick going in. I instantly see scrambles. I saw him like 6 feet down the river, and I'm like, all right, I can 2v1 this. So I made sure that I waited to ult the Warwick out of his ult, so I animation canceled it so that he couldn't get any free damage. And then instantly after that, I was able to W him, and he just stood inside it. So he just got instant killed, and then I ran away, was getting my cooldowns, and for some reason Scrambles didn't leave when I had Conqueror stacks rolling. So then I instantly just fucking popped him, E, Q, bang. And then they tried to do it again, and I remember I got one, but then yeah, it kind of
No.
ended it. But,
Now, what did you think of the Warwick top lane in game 1?
yeah, I was
Oh boy,
confused. Like holy,
that's a pick.
Like I thought I would lose level 1. I lost level 1, but then I didn't even die level 1, but I was 50% HP and he was like 100, but didn't matter because I just hyper farmed and
It's a blaney
hyper
diff.
scaled. It's always blaney diff.
So
Get
what you're
comment.
saying is that set go burr?
Yes,
Set-
sir.
Set go burr.
Alright.
Give me set. Game's over.
All right, and what did you guys think of the Urgot jungle pick and what it did?
Oh, I think it's terrible.
Yeah, I think
Like-
Slavic go.
Oh, I saw him build the black cleaver and not finish jungle item, and like he really wasn't doing too much on the pick, at least like in terms of like ganking from what I saw. Like I don't think he really came bot once. I guess like the idea of it is to just scale and get to Urgot late game, since like that's his early game's the worst part when you play top lane. But it's kind of hard to have your lanes winning and also do that. So
And now the most important question I'm about to ask: did you think that was Lulu top?
No.
No.
For a split second, I was like, wait. But then I realized, wait, set hard counter, so it doesn't matter.
we
Yeah.
thought they were just hovering it, and then we're like, wait, no, they actually locked it in.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
hey,
was my guess too.
you
I was
you think
pretty.
you generally think Lulu loses that matchup?
Yes.
Yeah, I also thought
Lulu.
Oh
that Lulu,
God.
I also thought that Lulu lost a matchup to the other champ, but people make that happen.
I literally won lane, but okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
I got this.
I just want to say that next week you guys are going to be facing off against oh god, I got to check my notes now.
Owlbears, I
Crap.
think.
Yeah, Owlbears, that's it. Yep, thank you. You guys are playing against Owlbears next week. So I just got to say, like, do you two have any thoughts at all going into that match at this point, or have you not even been thinking about your upcoming match because you've been so focused on today?
I have
I, th-
no idea who's on that team.
yeah, we're both new, so I don't quite remember either. But it is like a one game at a time type thing. Like our mentality this entire series is like we can't get too ahead of ourselves. I was trying to keep the energy up and like talking about like yeah, we're gonna win, right? And then like we're kind of just like trying to bring it back down a
Oh,
bit
they've Wookie.
and just trying to not get too ahead of ourselves. So we're taking it one game at a time, and I think it should be a good series at the very least.
It should be. I mean, Owlbears having the number 2 seed. I mean, uh, they definitely have the chance to give you guys a run for your money. I know that you went 2-0 tonight, but it could easily be a 3-game series next week. So I don't really have any more questions for you guys. Again, congratulations on the win tonight. Go celebrate with your team. Have a great time, and best of luck next week against Owlbears. I hope it's a barn burner.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
you.
Well, thank you, Casual EAL, for tuning into the stream. If there's anybody in the stream that is not from the Casual EAL community, thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Hope you all had a great time watching these games tonight. I know I had a great time watching them while I was casting. Thank you, Tommy, for being my co-caster tonight. Thank you, Shadow, for hosting the stream. And yeah, we will see you guys in the future with some more playoff streams. I know that there is a coordinated effort to get more playoff streams happening here. So hopefully we'll get some of those in. But for the meantime, have a good night, everybody. Good luck out on the Rift, and we'll see you next time.
I hear the sound echoes beneath, angels and skylines meet, and I'm straining to reach the light on the surface, light on the other side. I feel the pages turning,
there. The glitch mom, Michael, the word alive. It's Bobby, by the way. Let's get it. Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment, now is your time. So prove yourself, hey. Rise, rise, make them remember. Busy chasing round with you on the downtown. There's blood on the crown. Yeah, rise, they will remember. Busy chasing round with you on the downtown. There's blood on the crown. Welcome to the climb up, reach for the summit. Visions brave and one false step lead the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself, hey. Rise, rise, make them remember. Busy chasing round with you on the downtown. There's blood on the crown. Yeah, rise, they will remember. Busy chasing round with you on the downtown. Yeah, homie, we gon' rise, and we will never be sober. Yeah, 지혜 우리 간지에 we can never be humble. We gon' shine, move a scene when we enter. 평생들이 저런 고백 형님의 heavy metal. Smell like a tin spirit 좀 golden Lord 번호. Pick up your weapon and face it. 아무도 널 막지 않아. 뭘 그리 말 많아 간중은 널 믿지 않아. 보기 전까지 무시. That's why we gotta rise. Homie